So good afternoon, Miss and friends. Thank you for the opportunity you have given to us. Um, so today we are going to present the result of our mini research on the types and function of code switching used by sixth semester English department student in WhatsApp group conversation. But before we start, we like to introduce ourselves. My name is Sriwindah Lande and my friends.
Is Yuyun Wahyuni.
My name is Cinthya Aprilia Yoltuwu.
My name is Charles Aulele.
Okay, we move to the next slide. Next, the first is a executive summary. So the study analyzed code switching or CS in daily peer interaction among sixth semester students on WhatsApp. So we explored the structural types and sociolinguistic function with this digital ecology. Students navigate a triangular landscape, English, Indonesian, and Ambonese Malays, using CS as a strategic communicative as rather than a linguistic deficit. And next, there are two research questions. The first is what types of code switching are predominantly utilized by sixth semester English department student in their WhatsApp group conversation based on Poplux 1980 the student to switch code within their digital peer discourse based on Goopers, Hoffman, and Apples and Muiscan. Okay, next.
Okay, we continue with the methodology. So this study used a descriptive qualitative method. For the research design, we use qualitative content analysis because we want to understand how code switching is used in chat communication. The corpus of this study consists of authentic chat logs from Class A and Cohort 2023 collect between April and June 2026. For the analysis, we first select messages that contain code switching. Then we classify the data based on the types of code switching and analyze their function in communication. Next. Okay, so based on Poplak's theory, we found several types of code switching in the data. The first type is text switching. This happens when short English words or expressions are added to Indonesian sentence. For example, in the message, morning all, jangan lupa sabantar jam 4 sore, blah blah blah. The word morning is used as a greeting. Another example is malam all, mohon izin, blah blah blah, where the word all is used to get the attention of the group member. The second type is intersentential switching. This happens when speakers change from one language to another language between sentences. For example, in the message, tugas via classroom, blah blah blah, deadline this Sunday. The speaker starts to in Indonesian and then switch to English. Another example is what the hell Gemini bilang, blah blah blah, maaf jua, where the speaker switch from English to Indonesian in the same message.
All right, so now we move to intrasentential switching. So for the first is switching occurs within a single clause, requiring high grammatical control to blend structures. So in here is like For example, Mikro, kamu prepare PPT tetap par besok kah? And the second one is, tapi kok disuruh submit your final assignment? In here, situation that shows students treat linguistic system as a single flexing researchers. So that after identify the types of code switching used by the students, we also analyze the function behind their language choices. The findings show that students don't switch language randomly. Instead, they use code switching to achieve specific communicative purposes within their academic environment. So they make switching by purpose, not just like switch or something like that, but they make that on purpose. And the next is a function type that we get from these switch searches is functional mapping of corpus. For the first is function type that referential or academic preservation. For example, corpus example, LTA, tugas kelompok buat LPP, linguistic, etc. triggered by technical concept borrowing terms mini research, avoid translation and preserves context. And the second is directive instructional validity. Bawa kertas dengan tulisan pesan ke Miss Melanie, like a thank you note for her. Bisa. This is show that switching really take action in here, like from we take from initial RY, RY, aims to guide peer explicit defines the requirement of a card maintaining clarity. Step. And the third is expressive, affective expression, get class quotient. Like that, for example, in here, that's conveys immediate emotional responses, combines the English exclamation "God" with local markers to share happiness about class changes. In here, the person shows happiness with English, which maybe because when the people use English, they really take a lot of meaning behind the text. And the further is pathetic, like that. Tolong fast respond, please. Emphasize conversational urgency. The switch to English fast respond, please adds permanence to the request for an answer. So the research from our group, so we conclude that fast respond please add prominence to the request for an answer so fast. And the five is metalinguistic. Tapi kok disuruh submit your final assignment? Highlight procedural tasks by framing specific portal comments directly within student conversation. In here, we highlight that because our education is English department, so student in here usually using English code switching for more detailed information to guide what is that say interest to take focus on student to that what people say. And the last is potik. Katong literally tunggu Tuan Putri untuk isi PPT. This is from ES that analisa from our group. So missing regional dialect Katong with contemporary English slang literally. So this is mixed Katong with English like local and English. So we in here we got three Indonesian, English, and local mixed code switching. Softens the tone of an urgent reminder. This creative blend helps reduce social distance from others. Yes, next, thank you.
Okay, now we move into the main discussions of this research. So we have three of it. The first is about linguistic agility. So linguistic agility is like code switching demonstrates students' linguistic intelligence in adapting to fast-paced digital communication situation. The second one is about breaking down communication barriers. So language mixing reduces academic anxiety and makes group task coordination more effective and inclusive. And the last point is talk about hybrid identity. So it reflects the identity of the modern students who remain committed to their regional language like Ambon Malay, while being fluent in global language like English. The next is about conclusion and also recommendation. What is the conclusion? So this study concludes that the use of code switching by sixth semester students in a WhatsApp group is a highly structured and socially meaningful communication strategy. Structurally intrasentential switching was found to be the most dominant type, demonstrating the student's ability to flexibly integrate academic English vocabulary into a local grammatical framework. Pragmatically, code switching functioned as a strategy instrument to maintain the accuracy of academic terminology, like referential function, while also serving as an interpersonal tool to strengthen social solidarity and lighten the mood in digital interaction among peers. And about the recommendations, based on the research findings, it is recommended that instructors view the use of code switching in online collaboration as a valid learning tool to reduce communication barriers in complex tasks. For students, it is important to continue honing situational awareness so they can effectively transition between the informal language of social media and formal English in formal academic context. For future research, it is suggested to integrate interview methods or focus group discussions to explore in greater depth the personal motivations and psychosocial factors that influence students' linguistic behavior in the digital ecosystem.
That's all for our group. Thank you.